Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of News You Can Use, Rebooted. I'm Thera Martin, your host, and I am delighted to be here with you. I gotta tell you, this is the last show of the season, and we'll be starting back up with some new shows. God says so. Tanya, Professor Ellis says so. We'll be back in the fall with more of News You Can Use. But right now, today on the program, we are shining the spotlight on a subject that is so very important. We're going to be talking about Medicare. I've got two guests in the studio who will join me in that conversation. Mr. Anthony Jones is here, and also with me today is Amanda Ballatino, and they're representing on behalf of Broad Zero as they talk about being brokers for Medicare. And then when we turn the page a little bit later on in the show, we're going to shine the spotlight on an organization called Impact Services. And we have a guest here to tell that story. Kim Jones will join me. So stay along for the ride. We'll be back in just a moment. We are back and ready to get this show going. Delighted to be with you today. Thank you for checking us out, whether you're in your home, in your car, or wherever it is you are watching News You Can Use. Thank you for being with us today, Mr. Anthony Jones. We thank you for being here. And also Amanda Ballatino, thank you for coming to talk about Broad Zero.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a blessing to run into you that day over almost 2 months ago now at CVS on Wadsworth Avenue. And I walked up to your table and we started talking. And I said, you know what, I got a little radio show. You want to come on? And I figured this man's not going to believe me. He's going to probably think I'm full of it. He's not. But it happened. We got together. And not only did you appear on the radio program at WWDB AM 860 on the dial, but Ms. Amanda was there with you via Zoom. We had a great show. And now you're with me today.
Yes.
The subject is important. Medicare. I'm near 65. I don't mind saying that because I'm proud to be alive. You know, a lot of people didn't make it to get to be 64 or 65, so I'm glad and I'm not ashamed to tell it. But in coming to the age of 65, I'm realizing I know nothing about Medicare. What is it? What does it do? What does it do? Can I get it? Can I have it? So let's start right there. What is Medicare and what does it cover?
Okay. You want to start with that, Amanda?
Sure. So the first thing you want to know about Medicare is when you do apply for Medicare and you get Medicare, you get usually A and B. So you get your red, white, and blue card, and you have to understand that that covers 80%. Medicare is an 80-20 system. So this is what I was trying to explain to you earlier is, you know, then you, the beneficiary, are responsible for 20% of the cost still. So what do you do with the 20% out-of-pocket cost? You have to have a secondary coverage option. And that's kind of where we come in. Mm-hmm. Once you kind of get that A and B, you have about 2 options. So I'll let you review those.
Okay. Yes. Your first option is actually your Medicare supplement option. You know what I mean? She's more versed on Medicare supplement options. I'm more versed in the Medicare Advantage options, which basically your HMO, your PPOs, and it's probably, no, it's not probably, but it is, it's the fastest growing segment of that, you know, sector in the market. Because obviously it's something that they're pushing, and they want basically everyone to be knowledgeable about the Medicare Advantage systems.
Let me ask you this question. Is Medicare just for people who are of a certain income level, or can anybody, rich people, whoever, get Medicare?
Yes, yes. There's basically, you have to obviously get your Part A and your Part B. You know what I mean? You can get it through your Medicare's age. You're going to age into it. You're going to basically, you can be disabled, you can be disabled into it, and or you can be blind. Okay. Those are three mitigating factors that can help you get to your Medicare.
Okay. What are some of the common mistakes that you all see when people are applying for Medicare? And I feel like I'm going to make all the mistakes unless I hold your hands to get me through it.
Well, one major common mistake is just not knowing. Mm-hmm. You know, I had a case where someone had called me, a friend of mine had called me, and basically was at the hospital and did not know what coverage he had. He was giving the people his his insurance card from his employer, and he was disabled. And you know, he gave me a call, and we did some things. We made some calls and looked up some reports, and we found that he was on Medicare. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he had actually had Medicare Part A and Part B. Just the bottom line is he didn't even know he had Medicare. Mm-hmm. He still was operating on his he thought he had his work insurance.
Okay. So it sounds like somehow or another he did go online to the Social Security Administration website and filled out the paperwork to get the red, white, and blue card, but he just didn't know what he had.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Okay.
That's very common.
What kind of tips, Amanda, can you offer for those watching or listening at home about this whole Medicare thing and the steps they need to take to get on board?
So as far as the tips, you always want to work with someone local. So people will call you, you get advertisements, you don't know where to go.
Those calls.
Right, exactly. You're like, what do I do? So the first thing you want to do, no matter who you're working with, is just make sure that they're local and that they know your local market, your networks, your doctors. It's going to be a way smoother process, more efficient. Just because you're going to talk to somebody, and in Philly, we know Penn, Jeff, they know these local places. So ask the person, especially if you're working with someone over the phone, where are you located? If they're in Texas, probably not the best idea to work with someone like that. They're not going to understand your local area, and these plans are state specific or area specific. They can change by the county that you're in. So even if you move to a different county in Pennsylvania, things may change slightly. You might have to change your plan just based upon that. Also, there's subsidy programs in our state of Pennsylvania. So PaceNet, only someone local, a local broker, will understand this and realize there's plans that work with these programs as well. So it helps with prescription drug costs. It can help get you some extra benefits that you don't have to pay for. So local. We always kind of try to tell everyone.
Now, I recall when we did our radio interview, you talked about the fact that it's also important to be careful with the mail that comes, because it may look like it's something from the government and the Social Security Administration, but you got to be very careful when you get those, because it's actually more promotion for solicitation. Okay.
Yeah, advertisement. You'll get a ton of them. You're probably getting them right now.
Yes,
right?
I am.
It's just like you're going to feel like the most popular person. You're getting all this mail, you're getting all these calls, and you're really overwhelmed about it. You're like, what do I do? That's kind of where we come in. We're trying to eliminate, the confusion, because there is a lot of confusion, and people will kind of, try to steer you in one direction. What we try to do is educate you so that you kind of have the tools to make the decision and understand, okay, well, this isn't as, overwhelming as it seems, someone can help me.
Just to use myself as an example, I'll be embarrassed, okay? For people, it's important that you do things in a timely fashion. So because if God says so, will be turning 65 in June of this year, I should have started taking care of my business really yesterday, in all seriousness, right? In terms of going online, start with the Social Security Administration office, fill out whatever paperwork to get the red, white, and blue card.
Correct.
And then from there, a person like me really should call a broker.
Right.
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well,
Once you get that card.
Once you get the card, basically, then what happens is, then you can reach out to someone basically that's, licensed in that particular field, and what you can do is they can go over some things that can basically custom tailor to what you're looking for. More importantly, they want to put a plan together that's going to, include your doctors, all of your doctors for one, hospitalization in specific areas, because you want to make sure that the plans you pick is going to be in network.
Okay. And I heard you use the word penalized. Before we started taping the show today, you said something about if for a person who's not on top of things, who, sits and lets information just sort of stack up, mail or whatever, and they don't open it, and they're not reading, and they're not paying attention, and let's say that birthday comes, and now you're 65, and you haven't filled out nothing, nowhere for anything, you could be in trouble, penalized?
They give you an enrollment period.
Okay.
So you have what's called an initial enrollment period, and that starts 3 months before you turn 65. It's the month you turn 65 and the 3 months following that. So that's kind of your open window to go online and to enroll. After that, you're kind of delaying your coverage, and you could face penalties.
Now, what is it about the fall of the year that's the big time when people are making choices? Explain that to me.
Well, that's AEP. We're talking about AEP. That's normally runs October 15th to like December think last
Seventh.
year was 7th
Okay.
this year, so it's going to be
Okay.
December 7th. So what happens is that's your AEP, which is your annual enrollment period. That's when basically, you know, you have the ability to sit with brokers or sit with people that are licensed and go over particular plans to try to basically fulfill your needs.
Okay. So now Broad Zero, that's who our guests are representing today. So glad to have you all with us. Broad Zero has a bevy of Medicare brokers, that would be the title, that will help navigate people through all of this. And what we want our viewing audience to know also is that Broad Zero didn't just morph into existence yesterday. You all have been around for a while. You're licensed in what, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. I think I heard you mention Florida.
That's correct.
Woo-hoo.
Yep, Florida, Georgia, just got Texas. So yep, we're kind of helping people, and because we are also just starting doing individual health care. So that's kind of a new segment for us. So we're just kind of branching into that because just helping people, we run into a lot of people who don't have Medicare and they're like, can you help me with my health insurance?
Okay.
So we just started doing that as well.
But what I also want people to know before we run out of time about Broad Zero, and I didn't understand this at first until you talked to me, Anthony, is that you all work with all of the insurance companies. So you're not prejudiced. You don't just represent Cigna or Humana or Independence Blue Cross. You will work with any of those health insurance companies that are out here. You talk the people like me who need to make decisions, talk us through what our health concerns might be, and that's how you try to navigate folks to the right insurance company?
Yeah, what we do is, you know, obviously we're contracted out with a bunch of carriers in the state of Pennsylvania and other areas there. So what we do is we try to do a full interview process with yourself to see exactly the direction that you are going into, and you know, because things change from year to year. So we want to make sure that basically the carriers that we stressed for you is going to help you, and you know, and basically make sure the doctors are in network, all your doctors per se, and basically whatever your needs are, your medications and things of that nature. We need to do a full report on you to see exactly how we can help you in the process.
So I shouldn't worry, Amanda, about what my neighbor has if she has Blue Cross or if she has Aetna. What I need to just focus on is my business and what I'm trying to get for me.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and people will say, well, my neighbor has this, or you know, my husband has this.
Yes.
You have to realize it's not a one size fits all, and that kind of where our name comes in. We had our first office on Broad Street in South Philly, and then it stands for Best Retirement Options Always Differ, meaning, you know, you can't just choose a name because you like it. You really
Say it again a little bit slower. I like that, and it makes sense.
Best retirement options always differ.
Okay.
Right? So you really have to take the approach of what's best for someone else isn't always best for you. You really need to review your doctors. If someone's ever telling you, hey, you need to change your doctor, I would consider that kind of a red flag.
Yes.
You know, keep your doctor if you like your doctor. Let's find a plan that works with your doctor accepts.
And I like that. I like that. Gosh, there's so much more I want to ask you all, and I want you to highlight and talk about, but we are running out of time. They're telling me I got to wrap it up. So, Amanda, please give us a phone number where people can be in touch with Broad Zero.
Okay, so you can call us directly at 215-999-6625.
Say it again.
It's 215-999-6625.
And the all-important website, Anthony?
Well, the website.
Broadzero.com.
Broadzero.com.
All right, we got it. I thank you all both for joining us so very much. We appreciate the conversation about Medicare. This is a conversation that will definitely continue because I still have a lot of questions I'd like to ask. Stay with us. We'll be right back in just a moment, and we're going to be joined by another wonderful guest. Kim Jones will be here talking about Impact Services.
I left the military with a traumatic brain injury. I came home to fight depression, anxiety, and alcohol.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Madam Greathouse, Army veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
With DAV's help, I've built a new life for myself.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is just experiencing life.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Those were the days. We'd cruise down drags with our favorite bands. And every night, we had standing dates with the same friends. We hustled, we bumped, we bus stopped, and we smoked all the time. If that was you then, Get your lungs screened now. Visit screenyourlungs.org today.
Hooked to the double feature and you're on my mind. Return of the creature that crawled up from the subway line. You're always keeping me waiting, keeping me waiting for you.
Hello, everybody, and we are back with the program right now. And as I promised you, special guest in the studio. I said her name wrong, so let me clean it up right now. Kim Johns is our guest, and she is a program manager with Impact Services HVRP program, and that is so very special. You told me what it's all about. Veterans. I love veterans. Yes. I love veterans because I'm an Army brat born at Fort Benning, Georgia. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
And you're Army brat also?
I am.
Okay. Okay, now tell us about Impact Services, an overview real briefly of this organization.
Okay, so Impact Services is a nonprofit. We've been in existence for over 50 years. And what we do is we serve our veterans, and we also serve a Department of Corrections population as well. The ultimate goal of our program is to get our vets employed, training opportunities, skills upgrading. We also do discharge upgrades. We help our vets get housing. We also help our vets with entrepreneurship, training courses, and programs that they would like to enter into.
A lot of good stuff going on.
Yes.
And I know Impact Services does other things as well because of my professional working relationship with Rolando, Mr. Rolando Sanchez. Let me just shout him out, woo woo, from Impact Services. Thank you, Rolando. We appreciate you so very much.
Yes, we do.
Yes, yes, yes. So now you have some events coming up?
Yes, we do. So we have a stand down event that's coming up. It's actually June 10th. We also have our Community Connectors event, which is called Spring Clean, which they are doing Spring Sprint, excuse me. And that is a cleaning program for the community down in the Port Richmond, Kensington area. And what they will be doing is cleaning up the neighborhood and the community on that particular day. It's also like a mini carnival event for the kids. There's some food, water ice, pizza. It's a great event. We did it last year. It was very successful, so we plan on doing it again this year.
Now, a part of the service area for Impact Services, you mentioned Kensington, which is an area that's been hard hit in Philadelphia with the opioid crisis and all of that. And it's not the only area of the city where that kind of stuff is going on, but we always hear about Kensington. We always hear about Kensington. Impact Services, and particularly in your area, some of our veterans, we certainly believe their addiction started while they were serving this country. And unfortunately, I guess trying to ease the pain of hurt of seeing death and having to kill and all of that, and getting addicted along the way. And so our veterans, you're able to reach out to some of them that are in the Kensington area who are going through a hard time right now?
Yes, we are. So because we are in the heart of Kensington, we get a lot of our homeless vet population from the Kensington area. Those that are employable, we get them, we provide them with clothing. We get them job interviews. Once they have a job interview, we purchase them what they need. If it's work clothes, work boots, if it's a construction position, we provide them with the tools that they need to continue to do the job. And we also help our vets with housing. So some of our vets are sometimes at risk for homelessness. And at risk can be a variety of things. So at risk could also be couch surfing. You could stay with your mom or your dad, but it's not necessarily your own place. So what we would do is we will help you with assistance, moving costs, that you will be able to get your own place. A lot of our vets are single. There's very few that have families, and those that don't have families, most of the time they would like to get apartments or rooms. There's very few vets that are still married and want to be able to obtain a house, and depending upon what their discharge status is, they're able to get a home through the VA. We assist with that as well. We assist with the upgrading, but also the benefits, the VA application process. Things that some of our vets don't want to go to the VA, but don't mind coming to Impact for these things to get help with these additional services. A lot of the vets are not even aware of the services that are out here in the community for them to be provided and help with.
My.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I am so glad to know that Impact Services does this, because like I said at the beginning of this interview, how much respect and love I do have for veterans, not just Army vets, but the Marines and the Navy and all of them, because at Air Force, they put their lives on the line to help keep our nation safe. And in my opinion, they deserve to have every comfort, every service and resource available to them when they come home. Now, some of our older vets, I'm talking about the ones that are in their 70s and some 80s and stuff, some of their paperwork is like lost. They can't find it. And so they're really going through a tangled web of trying to get help from the Veterans Administration. So if somebody comes to you with that kind of an issue, they say, I never served, and I served. I got the pictures, I got the this and the that, I served.
They can come to us and we can help
then
them.
You start.
One of the connecting pieces is that we have a software system where we are able to apply for the DD-214, which is a separation document from the military. And once we submit that application, it's an online application. It does take time. And sometimes our vets don't want to wait, but unfortunately, that is the process. And once we submit that application for them, sometimes, depending on the branch of service, it may come back within 3 months, sometimes 6 months. But we are able to help our vets in those situations get the documents that they need so they can be able to become productive citizens, reintegrate themselves back into society, and also be able to be better than what they once were.
Yes. So people who are viewing our program right now want you to know that we're talking with Kim Johns. She is the program manager for the HVRP program under the auspices of Impact Services. She's doing critical work. So if you have a veteran in your life, someone in your family who's a vet, and you know that they're not getting all of the services that they qualify for, that they really could have and should have, because they didn't ask or they didn't follow up or they just don't know. We're encouraging you today to be in touch with Impact Services, to be in touch with Ms. Kim Johns and see how we can help to get your loved one on track. So phone number that you can put out, website that you can put out to our viewing audience.
Our phone number is 215-739-1600. That is the Impact's phone number. Our website is www.impactservices.org. That is our website address. Can I say,
please.
Stand Down is going to be a wonderful event. It's going to be a resource event for our homeless population. We will be having portable showers. We will be giving away suits, clothing, cooked food. It's going to be a barbecue style. We are going to show our veterans we appreciate them. And for those that are lost, they can come down and get some services so we can help them get found.
Now, Stand Down, that's the event that's going to be on June the 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, folks, so you're getting this a little bit early because this program is running in the month of May, the last 2 weeks of the month of May. This show will be on. We want you to remember that date, June 10th. Stand Down. Stand Down for our veterans, an event sponsored by Impact Services, and it will be in the Kensington?
It will be in the Kensington area. It will be at Campbell Square Park, which is also a Veterans Park in the Kensington area. So that's where it will be, June 10th. It will be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Say the name of the park again, and where's it located?
Campbell Square Park. I don't want to mess up the address, but I want to say 2536 Kensington Avenue.
Okay.
Allegheny Avenue.
That will be found, and that will be found. Come out and support our veterans for the Stand Down event on June the 10th from 9 in the morning until...
Until 5 in the evening.
Until 5 p.m. That's going to be a busy day. And
yes,
a good
it will
day.
be.
It will be a good day.
Yes, it will be.
Yes.
We're excited.
Any other tidbits or notes you wanted to share briefly with our viewing audience about what you're doing with vets?
Well, what we're doing is we're trying to help our vets that have saved our country and partially saved our lives as well, inadvertently. We are here trying to help our vets get whatever services that they need. If it's mental health, because a lot of our vets are suffering from
That's
mental
what I
health,
wanted you to touch on.
PTSD, those that are in need of those type of services, substance abuse, we have a connecting piece that we will be able to get them the treatment that they may need, but also some of the housing sectors. Those things are very important because some of our vets are in need of housing and don't know where to go, or they wait to the last minute to call us. So
I know
if
what
there's
else
a
I
need-
wanted to ask you. Does it matter if you live in the Kensington, Frankfurt area or not? Can you come from anywhere in the city?
Anywhere.
Oh, what a
Anywhere
blessing.
in the city. West Philly, North Philly, South
Good, good,
Philly,
good.
Southwest, anywhere that you come from, we are here to be able to serve you. We can serve Montgomery County. We also serve Bucks County. If you want to come from Coatesville, we'll help you coming from Coatesville.
Okay.
Whatever you need, if we can provide the service, we are there to help.
All right, give us the phone number again and the website if you please.
Okay, 215-739-1600, extension. Oh, I don't want to give my extension.
No.
215-739-1600, and our website is www.impactservices.org.
All right, I thank you so much. You're awesome.
I thank you for having me.
Yes, we
You are
appreciate
awesome as
you.
well.
Kim Johns,
Yes.
remember her name,
Thank
Program
you.
Manager for Impact Services HVRP program. And we are almost out of time. That means this season is all but done. We sincerely want to thank Professor Tanya Ellis again for allowing us to come back again. What a treat to be able to come back to LaSalle TV and do some more great programming. We want to again thank the awesome students who are part of the communications department for LaSalle because they do a wonderful job. And where would we be without our students to help make these programs happen? And we want to say thank you to all the voters who came out to vote on primary election day, May 16th. Some of you will see this program after May 16th. So I just want to say congratulations to all the winners, whoever the winners are. And now you got to get ready for the fall general election, which happens the second Tuesday in November. Every year there's a general election. Make sure you participate in the political process, whatever you do. Meanwhile, have a safe summer ahead. And if you're looking for a great college to attend, you better get online right now at LaSalle University and check out all of the educational opportunities that are right here at LaSalle. That's it for me. I'm cooked like a goose getting out of here. Be safe, everybody. Remember, life is fragile. Handle it with prayer.